Hey everyone, it's Pete from Cinepocalypse, and this is my August, September, and half of October Blu-ray update. It's been a month since, or just over a month since I last posted my German release, German movie deliveries. So this is stuff that I've been picking up over the last 2.5 months. There's one DVD and the rest are Blu-rays. So I'm going to kick it off. This is mainly stuff that I've purchased via like PayPal on eBay, or I picked up from CEX, or Kex. Because I traded in my old phone. I had like 60 something quid for that. And I bought a new phone, so that's what I'm filming this on at the moment. So yeah, most of these are picked up from CX, and a couple of online orders, but most of these are, like secondhand. So I'm gonna kick it off. Right, I'm a huge South Park fan. I have the collection up there of multiple South Park seasons. I had seasons 1 to 18. So the first one I picked up was season 19, which is the introduction of this gentleman here. This is the PC Principal, and this is one of the seasons where they started to do a complete like narrative arc across all 10 episodes. It's not one of the best seasons. I think it works. South Park tends to work better when they do like just stories of the week type of episodes and stuff. But I mean, it's trying a new different format after 18 seasons of the show, and it's funny. It's very funny. It's all about PC and like everybody getting offended by everything at the moment, political correctness and stuff. And PC Principal is one of my favourite new characters. It also has a story of Randy Marsh being the lead singer, being Lord, the singer, the Australian teen singer, which is so random. And Mr. Garrison's bid for the White House, where he basically it's just a piss take of Trump. But yeah, this is season 19. This was $12.99, I think it was, on Amazon. So yeah, I was meaning to get that. So that was season 19, and the next one is by the way, this is the DVD. I have all the other seasons on DVD, but this next one, it was cheaper for me to buy the Blu-ray of season 20 than it was to buy the DVD. I bought this. This cost £10, brand new, on eBay. This is the American release, but it is actually region free because it works on my British Xbox and my Blu-ray player. It is damaged, but that was in the description, and I think that's the reason why it was so cheap. As you can see, there's a great big tear across the middle there. There's some dents, and there's some dents there, but the discs are fine, no problem. I mean, the spine looks absolutely fine. There's a little bit of roughing at the bottom by there, but that doesn't really stand out. But it fits on a shelf fine, and this is the season that I'm currently in the middle of watching. This is the season with the member berries. Member. So I've been watching this, and I've been giggling because it's quite funny. So yeah, there we go. That is season 20 of South Park. So season 19 and season 20 of South Park, my favourite animated show of all time. It used to be The Simpsons, and then The Simpsons got rubbish. But this is 19. Well, I think they're on season 24 now, which was the pandemic special, was just on a couple of weeks ago. Well, 2-3 weeks ago, which was fantastic. Next up, we have, these are movies now. We have Solomon Kane. I've got this on DVD. Wanted to get it on Blu-ray because the DVD I bought was ex-rental, and it's all scratched up and stuff because it's a former rental copy. Pretty cool movie. James Purefoy's pretty damn badass in this movie. It's directed by Michael J. Bassett, who is the director behind Silent Hill, not the first one, the second one, and a brilliant war film, World War One horror film, which I can't remember the name of now, but it's got Andy Serkis in it, and who else is in it? I can't remember. But yeah, this is Solomon Kane, based on the Robert E. Howard novel, books, who also created Conan the Barbarian, which is my favourite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. So there we go, so that was Solomon Kane. Then we have Threads. This is the Blu-ray of the BBC docudrama about nuclear fallout in the north of England. Man, this film is brutal. This is such a downer of a movie. This was made, I think, in response to The Day After, which is the American film that was written and directed by Nicholas Meyer from 1984, which was like a sort of like a mini series. It was a TV movie, but I think it was shown over 2 nights, which is about nuclear fallout on the USA, which got Steve Guttenberg and people in it, Jason Robards, this and Bernie Casey. I think it was Bernie Casey. I'm not sure. This is the British one. This is the BBC one. This is only, well, this says it's 285 minutes long, but it's not, because there's multiple different versions of it. There's the UK 2K master from BBC. There is a director-approved widescreen edition, and there's 4 documentaries on there. Which my brother picked this up from CEX for me. It's 2-disc, both Blu-rays. This is one of the hardest films to watch because it is so depressingly downbeat, and it's fantastic. But you can't, it's not the type of thing you'd say, oh, you know what, let's put a film on and then watch Threads. This is something you need to prepare to watch, because it's not an easy watch. But yeah, that's Threads. Great British movie. Then we have not so great British movie, because it's not a British movie. It's Tomb Raider. It's based on a British character, but this is Tomb Raider. This is not the Lara Croft, but this is Lara Croft. This is not the Angelina Jolie one. This is Alicia Vikander. This is basically sort of based on the Square Enix reboot of Lara Croft, which was the Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. This mainly takes in plot points from the first Tomb Raider game that Square Enix released. Alicia Vikander is fantastic as Lara Croft. There's some great action great action scenes in there. It's a good movie, it's a decent action film. It's probably the best Tomb Raider movie out of the 3 that have been made so far, including this one. But don't you know, Alicia Vikander is great as a now version of Lara Croft, whereas Angelina Jolie was great as a then version of Lara Croft. So the EDOS interactive, old school Lara Croft from the first games, that's 100% that is Angelina Jolie, 100%. I mean, she looks and sounds exactly like Lara Croft, but Alicia Vikander looks and sounds like Lara Croft in the Square movies. But no, this is a cool film. Really enjoy it. Walton Goggins is in it as well, and Daniel Wu. Next, we have an Arrow release. This is the Arrow release of Joe Dante's Matinee. This is a fantastic film. Really underrated film. Stars John Goodman and the kid from Erie, Indiana, Henri Katz. Who else is in this? Kathy Moriarty, Simon Fenton, Kelly Martin, Lisa Jacob, who was in Independence Day and played one of Robin Williams' kids in Mrs. Doubtfire. This is basically not a rip, but a homage to William Castle, who was the guy who made things like House on Haunted Hill and The Tingler and just all these gimmicky, spooky horror movies from the 1950s and 60s. He was more this is to show that John Goodman is meant to be this kind of William Castle kind of person who's more of a showman than a filmmaker. And he's got this movie called Mant, which is opening in this small town in Florida. Well, in Key West, actually, in Florida. But it's also happening at the time of the Cuban Missile Crisis. So there's some very tense moments and some very funny moments and a lot of homages to like 1950s B-movie sci-fis and stuff. It's really, really good. This is the Arrow release. It's a two-disc release with a really, really nice artwork. Why didn't they use that as the cover? They should have used that as the cover instead of what they did use. Or did they? Oh yes, they did. I always, with Arrow releases, I always flip them around. But yeah, there we go. That's Matinee. That's written and it's written by Charlie Haas and it's directed by Joe Dante. Joe Dante just makes me sad that he's no longer making studio movies. The last film he made was Burying the X, which was a film that starred the late, his name's gone out of my mind now, the one from Star Trek, played Chekhov. Then we have Bad Boys 1 and 2. You ain't seen Bad Boys 2? This is Bad Boys 1 and 2. This is the 20th anniversary collection. Again, Bad Boys 2, 1 2 disc collection. I actually already own Bad Boys 1 on Blu-ray, and I own the 2 DVD box set of Bad Boys 1 and 2, but I wanted to get Bad Boys 2 on Blu-ray, and my brother luckily managed to pick this up for me, so that's pretty cool. So now I have Bad Boys 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. I love these movies. I do. I think they're fantastic action movies. Probably some of Michael Bay's best movies. But let's face it, Michael Bay's best movies are Bad Boys 1 and 2 and The Rock. And anything after that is a bit wank. Apart from 13 Hours. 13 Hours was pretty good. But yeah, this is Bad Boys 1 and 2, 20th anniversary collection, which goes with Bad Boys for Life, which is the latest in the Bad Boys series, which took, I think it's like 16 years for this to come out. It's really good. It's exactly what you want from a Bad Boys movie. It's directed by it just says Abdul and Bilal on the back, but I don't know their full names, but they directed something called, I think it was Gangster, which is a film from Budapest. I'm not 100% sure, but they made this look exactly like a Michael Bay movie. In fact, there's a Michael Bay cameo in this film. But this is directed by this is written by Chris Bremer and Peter Craig and Joe Carnahan. And Joe Carnahan's always worth watching a screenplay written by him. So like Smoking Aces and the A-Team and The Grey, and it was, what else was the other one he did? Narc. Narc is a fantastic film with Ray Liotta and Jason Patric. So yeah, Martin Lawrence, brilliant. Will Smith, brilliant in all 3 movies. Do not skip this because it's like, oh, they're old, it's Bad Boys. It's awesome. The action's fantastic, and it does have a younger crew, but it doesn't do what Expendables 3 did, where it kind of focuses more on the younger ones and less on the older ones, which like no one wants to see the younger ones. We all want to see the older ones. That we want to see fucking, what's his name? Ronda Rousey. What's her name? Ronda Rousey and that absolute Kellen Nuts. Or do we want to see Jason Statham and Terry Crews and Wesley Snipes and all that? We want to watch them. We don't want to watch them. But luckily, this focuses more. Not this one. Sorry, this one focuses more on Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett, Will Smith, Martin Lawrence. So yeah, Bad Boys 1, 2, and 3, awesome movies. Then we have probably my second favourite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Out of everything that he's done, my favourite being Conan the Barbarian, which is in my collection. I have 4 different versions of that film on DVD, and I have 1 version on Blu-ray, but I do not have Kindergarten Cop. I absolutely adore this film. It is good-natured. There is nothing in this. It's a 15. It's because it's got some violent scenes in it. But let's be honest. This is always put on TV about 6 o'clock in the evening. It's never put on late. This is essentially a family movie with a little bit of violence. It's incredible. It's such a lovely film. It starts off with a little bit of like not really suitable for the kids, but then the rest of the movie is lovely. It's such a nice movie, and it's probably one of Arnie's best comedic roles or comedy roles outside of Twins, which is, to me, is his best comedy role. I mean, Junior's good, but Kindergarten Cop is such a harmless movie, and it got pulled from a film festival in Portland, I think it was. I can't remember why now, because I think it was like a glorified violence towards kids or something like that. But that's bullshit. It's a lovely film. And yeah, Arnie's second best comedic film. I love this movie. It's so good. And it's got Pamela Reed in it as well, and Linda Hunt. And is it Penelope Ann Miller? It is Penelope Ann Miller. And it's got that guy, what's his name? Richard Tyson. Now, every time I see Richard Tyson in a movie, I just think of like the sleazy, horrible-looking guy from Kindergarten Cop. Even when he's playing a good guy. So yeah, that is the other one. That's Kindergarten Cop. Then we have, last but not least, we have we have Michael Crichton's The Andromeda Strain. This was directed by Robert Wise, who directed lots and lots and lots of movies, including, but not limited to, West Side Story and Star Trek, the motion picture. This is a good film, great film. I originally thought this was the Arrow release, but it's not. It's just the regular Universal release, which is no biggie, because what are you gonna do? But really cool science fiction movie based on a book by Michael Crichton. I think the screenplay was written by Nelson Gidding. This was remade as a TV miniseries a couple of years ago. I think it was 2004, 2005, where it was produced by Ridley Scott, which was okay. It was all right. It was it wasn't amazing, but you just can't go with the atmosphere and stuff of this original 1971 version of the Andromeda Strain. Really cool. Check this movie out if you can find this release. I got this from CEX for £8. If you can get the Arrow release, get the Arrow release. If you can't, see if you can get this one, or get a DVD, because it's a great movie. And finally, we have, this is a box set I've been meaning to get for a long time. It is Batman, the Anthology Collection, which is 1989 to 1997. This collection includes Batman and Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. These are, with the exception of Batman and Robin, awesome films. The first and second Batman, both directed by Tim Burton. Batman Returns is a Christmas movie. Don't care what anyone says, it is a Christmas movie. And so the first 2 films directed by Tim Burton, the second 2 films directed by Joel Schumacher. Batman and Robin is an awful movie, but you gotta have it in the collection because it comes in the collection. Batman Forever, it has fantastic moments, really good production design, but it could have been a little bit better. But it's still a good movie. Val Kilmer was a decent Batman. George Clooney was a terrible Batman. Ow, I'm sat on the floor, which is why this is awkward. George Clooney is a terrible Batman, but that's not his fault. The script was awful. Michael Keaton's the best Batman. Val Kilmer, decent Batman. Just pretty decent, awesome films all around. The first 2 films especially are Really, really, really good. The first film with Jack Nicholson as the Joker, oh my god, it's fantastic. Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, and is it Max Schreck? It was Christopher Walken and Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito as the Penguin, absolutely spot on casting. Even Batman Forever, like Jim Carrey as the Riddler and Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, just great casting. But you get to Batman and Robin, and you've got Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze and Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, which is not bad casting because Uma Thurman's actually pretty good in it. But the film's crap. It's utter crap. Alicia Silverstone is wasted as Barbara Gordon as Batwoman or Batgirl or Batgirl. I don't know. But there we go. So that is those are my pickups for the last I don't know how long, 2.5 months. So that's everything, I guess. That's everything. I quite enjoyed doing this little video. It was more of a chat than anything else, I guess. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and thank you for all the new people who have subscribed. I know I haven't got a huge subscriber base, it's like less than 60, I think, but it's more than welcome. And I'm sorry that the videos are few and far between, but it's very difficult for me to be able to live and afford to buy Blu-rays. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all the views on the previous videos, and see you again in another 2 months, I guess, which would be Christmas. It would be Christmas. Oh, fuck. It's Christmas in 2 months. Jesus Christ. Thank you all. Cheers. Hope you all have a great November compared to the rest of the year. And all those people in lockdown, take this time wisely and watch as many films as you possibly can. Don't steal them. Do not steal movies. It's wrong. But yeah, have a good one. Cheers.